Okay, we're back.
It's been a while. Sorry about that.
It has been.
Life's been a bit crazy.
Yes.
With your birthday, she turned 30.
Yes.
So now we're doing another video. We finally got back to it.
Yeah, we usually do them on the weekends when Shepard's napping.
Yeah.
So we finally have a weekend to do one.
And so we were asking each other what we want to talk about, and we kind of came up with the idea of asking each other questions. And
Yes.
I don't know what questions she's going to ask, and she doesn't know what questions I'm going to ask, but we're going to ask each other and then answer them ourselves as well.
Yeah.
So
And we don't even really know, like, even the type of questions or anything.
serious, not so serious, yeah. So
Okay. Are you gonna go first?
No, you go. You go first.
Okay. Let me pull it up.
I'm a little nervous.
I'm gonna start with, what is something that you've learned from a previous relationship?
Whoa. Well, I can go the most obvious. My previous relationship was with a man, and even though he was a very nice guy, he was a guy.
Okay.
So
Well, yes, that's an obvious thing.
I learned that. I learned not to wait for it to get better. It wasn't a bad relationship, it just wasn't the right one for us, and we kept trying and trying and trying, and a lot of time and a lot of heartache was had. And so I think I learned that if it isn't right, don't keep trying to make it right. Don't compromise. Relationships are about compromise, but when it's revolving around finding the right one for you, you shouldn't have to compromise. And that's a huge lesson I learned with that. And it turns out that we are both very happy in the relationships that we're in, my ex and me. So, yeah, what about you?
Okay. Very similar. If I were to answer it, I would say, don't stay with someone just because you think that you may not be able to find better, or that this is the best that you could get. I don't know, I feel like I stayed with my ex just because it wasn't horrible, and I thought, well, maybe this is the best it could be, and so that's why I stayed with my ex and stayed too long with my ex. So I would, this is kind of what I've learned, is that if it doesn't feel 100% right, it's probably not.
That's a good answer. All right, my turn.
Mm-hmm.
All right, don't be looking at my questions. Okay. What is the biggest misconception people have about you? What do you think?
Okay, first thing that came to mind is that the biggest misconception is that I'm cold or unemotional. And I think that a lot of people have that idea about me. And it's not that I'm cold or unemotional, I just don't display my emotions. But I still feel them, I just don't display them. So I think that's the biggest misconception, is that I still feel everything pretty deeply. I'm just able to, I don't know, maybe I'm not comfortable showing my emotions. I didn't grow up showing my emotions, and I didn't grow up with my parents really showing their emotions. So I think over the years I've just internalized everything, and so now people feel like I am very unemotional, or very, I don't want to say even keeled, because I am even keeled, but I would say just not very...
Use the word cold.
Yeah, I feel like people in the past have been like, oh, Alex is not very, I don't know, I guess cold, but I wouldn't say people think I'm...
I don't think you're a bitch.
No. I don't know.
Unemotional, I just think that's a good...
Unemotional is probably a better word, because I'm friendly and everything, obviously, with people, but I feel like a lot of, I don't know, friends and family that have been in my life a while would say, oh, Alex isn't very emotional, she's not very excitable, she's very, like, level-headed, even keel, and which that is true, but I do still feel all of these emotions. I just keep them on the inside.
Fair enough.
No, what about you?
I think kind of on the same, not the unemotional, but the first impression. I think that people, and I've gotten this quite a lot, especially at work, more so, that I'm very serious and I'm harsh, and unapproachable. And I've been told that, that people are nervous to approach me at first, and then I've also been told quickly into getting to know me, they realize that's absolutely not true. And I can see why, is because at work I'm focused, and I guess when I'm focused, I'm not walking around with a huge smile on my face. I don't know. I don't think that I'm unapproachable. I'm more than happy to explain things to people and talk to them and get to know them. But anyways, it just, I think that's like the first impression that I give off, unfortunately. But yeah.
Which is so funny because at work right now, people say that I'm like the bubbly and outgoing person, which has like never been the case. I've never been called that in my life. And that she's like the more serious, unapproachable one, which is just so funny.
They call me the serial killer.
Yeah, it's funny because I feel like it'd be the opposite, but
anyways,
just kind of interesting.
I know.
Okay, my next question is kind of a simple one. What do you love the most about your life right now?
Oh, well, that's a simple and easy answer. I love the simplicity of our lives and our life together. I think that it is sweet. It's a very sweet life. We have a great relationship, a great marriage, and we have the most adorable, perfect little boy, and that makes a family. And I think that it's not complicated, and I think that's what makes it so perfect to us, and so sweet. And I absolutely love our little family. I wake up every day and I have a smile on my face, and I look forward to the day. I look forward to watching Shepherd, learn new words and, just become who he is. And I like seeing her kind of evolve into the mom that she is. And I think that it's endearing, and I just love it. I do. What about you?
Similar answer. I would say I kind of like the stability of our life right now. There's no drama. Never really has been, but
No.
it's always nice that there's no drama. Everything's very stable. We're very comfortable. We've got like our perfect little son. We've got a great marriage. We've got a beautiful house that we just built.
Yeah.
We have a job we like. I don't know. Just everything is very, I don't know,
Stable. Yeah.
perfect for us. There's nothing that's really out of place. There's nothing.
Yeah.
There's no like huge stressors or anything. Everything's just very stable, comfortable, and just happy.
Right.
That's how I describe it.
And we have to mention our cat and our dog. We do have them as well that we love.
Yes, exactly.
Okay. What are 2 favorite memories that you have of us? I know there's a lot, but when you just think of that question, what are 2 things that come to your mind? Just quickly. Come on.
Nothing comes to my mind just quickly. I'm trying to think back. I have 6 years of being together. I have 2 memories. That's very like distinct. I mean, our wedding comes to mind, obviously, but that's kind of like a typical answer, I feel like. I'd also say Shepherd's birth. Not really him being born, but the lead up. I guess me laboring, like us together,
Yeah.
more so than his actual birth. Just because you were like a big help during that. And it makes me, because you were the only one in there, so it makes me think of it was just a memory between us two, really. But other than that, I'm trying to think like back early days. Maybe traveling across Europe is a big memory.
Yeah.
We like rented a car and traveled 2.5 weeks throughout like a bunch of European countries.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably a big memory. I'm trying to think, maybe like just the very, very early days when we first started dating, and we like stayed up all night talking, and it was just like can't get enough of each other type of situation. That's not really a distinct memory, but that's just kind of like looking at the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know, there's a lot.
Yeah.
6 years of memories. It's hard to
It's
narrow it
hard-
down to 2
it's hard.
distinct ones.
Yeah.
Or when we're finding out we're pregnant.
That was going to be my answer.
Yeah,
That was one of mine.
that was a big one.
It's huge. It was just
So
this,
those, I guess.
Yeah.
Finding out we're pregnant, laboring with Shepherd, our wedding, but I feel like that's like a
She's,
given.
she's going number 3 and maybe number 4.
And then traveling across Europe. I don't know. What were yours?
Mine, finding out we were pregnant with Shep. And I would say the early days of our relationship as well. Our first date, I think that was, or the first time that we kissed, I think that was that was like magical to me.
Yeah.
And I'll always remember that. So I think that was the very, very, very beginning of us. So,
Well, yeah.
and we have so many memories traveling, like you said, and moving to Utah and moving here. There's a lot that's happened in between. So, but it was finding out we were pregnant and
Yeah.
like our first kiss, probably.
Yeah, those are good answers.
Yeah.
What do you think is the key to a happy and healthy relationship?
Oh, okay. One thing or a couple things?
Because
I go on.
No, don't go on. Like 1 or 2 things.
Okay, communication. She knows I'm really big on it. At least I like to talk through things a lot. So I think that open communication, and even if it's the littlest thing, you just talk about it, or a big thing. Be honest and open. And I'd say trust. Pure and simple, you have to be able to trust the other person wholeheartedly in order for it to be a happy and healthy relationship. And obviously you have to have love and respect and all of those, but I think you need to start with a foundation of trust and to be able to talk through things and communicate. How about you?
I'm going to go a kind of different route. Yes, I agree all of
Wow.
that.
What?
No, I agree with all of that, of course.
I'm kidding.
But I would say starting off with just finding like the perfect person for you is the key to a happy and healthy relationship.
Yes.
Because if you're not with the right person, it's just not going to work. You can try to make it work, and you might be able to make it work for however long, but
Yeah.
eventually, I feel like it's just not going to end up being like the end all be all.
Yeah.
So I would say the key to a happy and healthy relationship is finding the perfect person, and then just knowing that y'all are willing to work through anything together.
The commitment.
Yeah, commitment. There you go. That's what I'm-
Okay. That's a good answer.
yeah. Okay.
What is your favorite quality about yourself?
I was going to ask you that. That's
Wow,
Not, it's not on
okay.
my list, though. My favorite quality about myself is that... I'd say that I am, like, maybe driven and focused. Like, whatever I put my mind to, I'll make sure it gets done. And it's done correctly and done well. And that, like, I'm very self-motivated
Yeah.
and ambitious. I guess those would be my favorite qualities. Those are kind of all kind of similar qualities, I guess.
Those are great qualities.
What would be your favorite quality about yourself?
I'd say probably that I'm empathetic. I think that innately I am pretty empathetic and try to put myself in other people's shoes, but it also gets me in trouble, I think, a little bit. But for the most part, my initial reaction is empathy to a lot of situations.
Okay, that's a good one. I agree with that.
Yeah.
What do you think is the hardest thing we've gone through together?
Oof. The hardest thing we've gone through, I think it was hard for us, but it was I'd say, realizing that our dream of doing reciprocal IVF and me being able to carry a baby and have a baby with my genetics, having that kind of, we had to take a turn and change our perspective on that. It wasn't hard. It was something that we had to emotionally and mentally wrap our heads around as a couple, and we did it well because we had it, we were doing it together, but I think that was something that was maybe difficult for us to get through, I guess. What about your answer?
My answer would be probably like the newborn phase and becoming new parents and juggling
That's a good answer.
motherhood, our relationship, work, being without family.
Yeah.
I would say that's the hardest thing we've been through.
I would say that your answer is probably your answer because you were breastfeeding. You were exhausted beyond belief. The stress that just being the one that's breastfeeding is more on you, and I think
I mean, it was a lot, but I think it's also like the lack of sleep, the change in our dynamic. Like we're not focused on each other
You're
anymore. We have this
No.
baby, and I think it was just, and then thinking like, oh, I have to go back to work,
Yes.
and I still don't feel recovered. It was just like a very challenging time, just because it was a big change, really,
Yeah. No,
and it was
I
just
agree.
hard physically too. But that would be my answer.
That's a good answer. I would agree with that. Yeah. We made it through. Okay. What is a regret that you have?
I told her not to ask this one because
had-
I don't have any regrets. I really don't. And she said, everyone has regrets.
If you don't, that's awesome. Not a single regret. That's okay if you don't.
I mean, but here's the thing, I don't have regrets because if I did, then I wouldn't be where I am today.
That's a trick question because it's true. Yeah.
Because sure, I may have wanted to do something differently, but if I did, it's like the
It
butterfly
could've
effect,
yeah.
then I maybe wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Yeah, that's true.
So I do have things that I would have done differently, but I wouldn't want to do them differently because then who knows?
It's very true. I would say if I knew that everything would lead to where I am today, my biggest regret would probably be not going to and I want to say this in quotes, but a normal college, and like I lived in California, not going to some place like USC or a normal college rather than a religious college because I didn't have the experience that Alex had, and I'm super jealous of that. Like, she has so many stories and so many fun experiences that I've never had. And I grew up, this is just a short little, I grew up in a conservative religious household in a conservative religious Mecca, and nothing against that, but it is very much a bubble. And so I kind of continued that because that was what the comfort zone was. It's what my parents wanted of me, and it led me to not have cool stories and fun experiences like Alex had. And so I think that's not a regret, but it's something I wish I had done and kind of stepped out a little bit. But again, maybe it would have not led me to the life that I have now. So I can't, like she said, I can't really be upset about that or angry about that. But if I knew it would lead me to where I am now, I think I'd do that.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think maybe my regret would be, and take this with a grain of salt because I do like what I do for a job, but my regret would be, not really a regret, but if I could do something differently and it wouldn't really change, like my relationship, my marriage, blah,
Of
blah,
course, of your life, yeah.
I would say maybe do something different for work. I love healthcare. I like being a nurse practitioner, but I see some other people, just like family members or whoever, or people just on social media or whatever, that they can, be highly successful at their job, but they're not having to see, 35 patients a day and, be treating, I don't know. I just feel like you could be more successful you can work from home and make, more, or we could be with Shep more, making more if we had a different job, if that makes sense.
More autonomy of your time and
Yeah, and like
hours.
I feel like you could have more growth in maybe other areas.
Yeah.
Like as far as professions, if I could do it over, I would love to do maybe marketing or communications or something with
good at
social
that.
media, since now that's become a big thing.
Yeah.
I don't know, something along those lines. I feel like
Yeah.
it would just allow more flexibility with our life. I mean, I love being a nurse practitioner. We've made a whole video on that, and that's not what I'm saying. It's just, I feel like it would have allowed, a different profession would allow, us to work from home, be around Shep more,
There's
make
no-
more.
there's no
There's no cap to
cap.
what you can make. There's no cap to what you can do
Yeah.
in other professions. Whereas, like, being a nurse practitioner, there's kind of like only so much.
You hit the
have to
ceiling.
be with, I mean, not with all nurse practitioner jobs, most of them, you have to be with patients doing patient care. There's definitely like usual hours that you're working.
Yeah.
So I feel like maybe not a regret, but something I could have done differently
Yeah.
would go into a different profession.
We would have never met.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
No, I know, but isn't that
wouldn't
crazy?
do it,
No, I know.
but
That's funny. That was one of my other questions. I said if you weren't, and this was on my, not the questions I was going to ask, but other ones that we had as an option. And I said if you weren't a nurse practitioner, what would you be? It's just similar.
yeah, I don't know, maybe something, marketing,
You'd be good at that.
communications, working with brands, something maybe with social media, not like personal social media, but like working with brand social media.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that. I
Yeah.
feel like would be interesting. I feel like it's a big area of growth right now, and that you could be really successful doing that. I don't
Yeah.
know. Just a thought. What would you want to do? Men's clothing?
No, probably something like that. But like, I think now that we have a child, like, there's not. I mean, there are a lot of brands out there that have cute baby clothes and toddler clothes, but not a lot, to choose from. You end up going back to the same, group of brands that have cute,
Like affordable.
yeah, affordable,
Cute and practical baby wear.
yes, something like that would be really cool to do. I think would be fun, especially now that we can relate to it.
Or would you want to ever flip houses?
Oh my gosh, yes. Why did I not think about that? I would absolutely love to do that. I think that would be so fun. And you'd build a great portfolio,
I'd be
money-wise.
okay, like if I was a little bit removed from it, but having to deal with like contractors and all of that, it drove me crazy building our house. Can't do it.
Yeah, but you and your dad are very similar in the sense that you guys are very like meticulous,
Type A. Very.
Yes, but you want to be so involved that you want to know, okay,
It has to be
this
perfect.
nail in this wall,
Yeah.
and it has to be this type of
Drives
nail.
me crazy
Yeah.
if it's not perfect, and so, granted, it might be different now if we were doing somebody else's house.
Or if it was like a flip and then turn into a rental, or a flip, it's not necessarily ours that we're living in.
But just having to deal.
Oh, that'd be
with-
so much fun. I would love to.
If I was removed and I was just making design choices, then yeah, I would be okay with that.
We could be a good team. I think we could be.
Yeah, I just wouldn't want to be super involved with like the actual
And I'm-
building of it and all that.
I'm fine with being involved.
No, not me. Okay. Anyways, next question. What are you most looking forward to in the next 10 years?
Oh man. Well, having another kid sometime in that time frame, hopefully sooner rather than later.
In 10 years, you'll be 40.
Let's
what,
not
8?
talk about
Yeah,
that.
48.
Yeah, I will be.
Well, just to give some perspective.
What I'm looking forward to, obviously, watching our kids grow and seeing who they develop into being. But I really want to travel. I want to travel with our family. I see all these other either influencers or whatnot, and they go on these cool trips with their kids, and they kind of, maybe it's a place they've already been, but their children haven't been, and you just experience that through the lens of your children almost. And so I think that would be so fun, and I look forward to doing that. I think right now we're in a stage where, we have a toddler, and
We're just trying to make it through right now,
We're
through every day.
yeah,
essentially.
we're just trying
Yeah.
to, just to survive a little bit. I mean, I think we're over that survival stage, but
We are.
it's, I think in having another, hopefully another baby, we're going to be in that stage again. And so learning how to be a family of 4 rather than a family of 3, there's a lot of adjustment. But once we get over that hump, I really look forward to traveling with our sweet little family and just kind of having fun in life. I don't ever want to look back and go, dang it, I wish I would have just enjoyed life a little bit more.
Similar answer is that watching our kids grow up, obviously, but also as they age, being able to do more fun and exciting adventures and things like that is what I'm really looking forward to. Is just kind of experiencing life through them,
Yeah.
but getting to do more fun and like traveling and like things that you can't really do with younger kids.
No.
But yeah, watching them grow up obviously is like the number one thing looking forward to,
Yeah.
which is both sad and happy.
I know.
But yeah.
Well, we may do this again because this was fun.
Yeah.
I think it changes the dynamics a little bit between one video to the next. So I like
Yeah.
it.
See y'all next time.
Bye.